Adam Hat be continued shortly. Say, by the way, you may feel on top of the world. One of the many things that give you that tip-top feeling is the pleasure of Adam Hat. Now, Adam Hat be continued.
Just do it. Sounds like a great phrase, but it's a point of contention in somebody like myself who has been told time and time again, don't do that. Don't do it. Someone who I'm always being told, no, don't do that, don't do this. To hear the words, just do it, feels like a lie. Feels like a trap. Feels like you want me to do something that I'm not supposed to do so you could turn around and tell me you're not supposed to just do it like that. You're supposed to just do it in a different way. I just want to fucking do it. But there's been so many, another brick in the wall, so many fucking bricks placed up time and time and time over again that I actually didn't even notice a wall being built. I thought, it was all knee high. I thought it was, just a retaining wall. I didn't think much of it. And then eventually it was waist high and I couldn't really step over it anymore, but I could still see over the wall. And then it was neck high and I'm kind of standing on my tippy toes to see over the wall. And now the wall is over my head and I'm like, oh no, there's a wall in front of me. And I gotta just brick by brick break down that wall, piece by piece, chisel out each brick, look at it, say, fuck this brick, throw it away. And maybe, just maybe, things will be okay. That's the just do it I have to do. But my just do it is breaking down fucking everything. I don't know what's bullshit and what's not bullshit. This is a very confusing world we live in. Fucking very semantical world. I don't know what is bullshit and what is not bullshit. So I have to fucking go and test everything so I can see what's bullshit firsthand. And that makes things very difficult. If I could just only trust a little bit more, And I'm learning how to do that. I'm learning how to be like, you know what, that actually sounds like a good idea. I'm not gonna do that. Or like, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna listen to you on that. It goes both ways. But see how I just did that right there? Like, it can go both ways. Fuck it. It needs to go one way. Fuck you. Fucking take a stance. I've been too centric for too long. I'm a centric fucking apolitical person, but it just is a time where I'm just like, oh, Jesus, I feel a way. And the only way to stop feeling that way is to just talk about it and to just do it. But then when you got fucking people that just told you, bad ways to do things, and then you're like, oh, I just got to do it. And then you go and do it, and you're like, oh no, that was the bad way. But I listened to the person that told me to just do it. But fuck, I just did it for myself, and I found out that that's the bad way. But they just said, just do it. It's just confusing. It's like learning how to listen to your gut. That's something I guess I return back to a lot in this podcast, is learning how to listen to your gut. And phrases like just do it are a little too vague sometimes, especially without context. As a slogan for a company, I wonder if they've ever gotten in trouble for fucking some Catcher in the Rye type bullshit. Somebody's like, I saw the Nike logo and I saw it as an image to just do it. Like one time I stole a hat because it had a Buddha on it. And I was like, the Buddha was my sign that I would be okay stealing the hat. The fuck? But I wonder how many people have used that same line of logic to like steal a Nike hat or something else. Just because, somebody walked by with a Nike shirt on and like, you know what, I will just do it. Whatever thought was going on in their head. It's a fine line we walk here, being humans and whatnot. But as somebody who's been told time and time again, like, don't do it that way and don't do it this way, when you finally like reach adulthood and you have the freedom to do whatever you want, however you want, It's been a whirlwind for me, dude. I forget that I can just do it sometimes. I forget that I can just go drive out to the beach. I can just go for a 40-minute drive to fucking nowhere. I don't have to go anywhere. But I let all of these bricks get built up, and I have all of these roadblocks that keep stopping me. I say, well, gas is expensive. I can't waste the gas right now. And then I say, well, I don't want to waste my brakes. I just had to get my brakes changed. I don't want to have to get my brakes changed again. That was expensive. I don't want to have to drive my car. I come up with all these fucking reasons based upon logic that other people have given me of why you shouldn't be driving your car, because that wasn't something I thought about beforehand of like, oh, my brakes are going to run out if I go on a fucking 100-mile drive and there and back. It wouldn't run out on the 100-mile drive, but it would make them run out faster. And, well, it's something I thought about, but to think about it in the context of, well, I can't even use my car right now because my brakes are making so much fucking noise that it sounds dangerous. That's how bad my brakes got. And I just like grew accustomed to not going out and not wanting to go out. And then I got my brakes changed, and I'm still living in that same kind of like, well, the brakes are still broken, I probably shouldn't go out mindset. And that is an analogy for like how I grew up, because it's like everything I wanted to do, it was like the brakes were broken. And then I grow up, I finally get on my own, the brakes are fixed, but I don't do anything that I wanted to do when I was little and like dreaming about, because I still think the brakes aren't fixed. I still think I'm in that, fucking 10-year-old body, not able to do anything, still have the same fucking mind almost. And that's something that's always like, I've been aware of ever since I was a very little kid. I was like, this who I'm talking to, who's talking to myself, the like who it is inside of my brain. I've always been very like in touch and aware with who that is. And as I got older, I would ask questions like, is it going to ever change how I think or what my voice sounds like in my head? Because my outside voice doesn't sound like my inside voice. So is my inside voice ever going to change? And people told me, yeah, it'll change as you get older, and like you start, thinking with a different voice. But the voice has never really changed for me. It's always been a stable, steady, sage, wise individual advising me from my subconscious. I just choose to listen to it or not. And not listening to it, I had a lot of fun growing up. That's how I got into most of my nonsense, was just like, I'm not going to listen to my gut. Like some kid was like, I bought a Four Loko off of him and I started chugging it right in front of him. He's like, whoa there, buddy, slow down. And I was like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm trying to get fucked up right now. And like my gut told me slow down. He told me slow down, but I was like, fuck it, I want to have fun. And I ended up getting like so blasted. I don't even remember how I got home. I remember just like stumbling home, and I was just like so fucked up, and like I threw up when I got home too, I think. And I was like throwing up on the toilet, like I was like, I'm never gonna drink again. It was bad. That's a fun memory. I would have like, never really learned my limits with alcohol. I would have never really like seen firsthand it's not actually that fun if I didn't overindulge and realize, oh, dude, this shit actually isn't that fun. But it tricks you because alcohol is a chemical, it's a drug. So you think that you're having fun and you're feeling good, but actually it's just a chemical trick of the brain. And the more and more you drink, the more you can start to like achieve your normal brain state while you're drunk, sort of. And the more you kind of see through the facade of the drunkenness, you're like, oh, okay, it like just my equilibrium is knocked off, my internal homeostasis has been thrown out of whack, and everything I'm experiencing right now is my body attempting to put it back into homeostasis. And that's all that alcohol is it's just throwing off your homeostasis. And all of the effects that you feel from it are liver metabolites of your liver digesting it and then processing it. And that's how you get drunk and you start to feel drunk. But that's not something you would know unless you drink and you experience it, and you're also very scientifically minded and you're into all of the sciences that we have available to us nowadays. So that's how, like, just do it can also be bad, because if you're just drinking and you don't know the havoc that it's wreaking on your body and you're not in tune with your body and you're just riding the neurotransmitter wave of feel good chemicals, then you're not aware of what you're doing to your body, and then just doing it, just doing it, just doing it, just doing it, you're eventually going to reach a point where your body can't handle it anymore and it starts to shut down. Or you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, you're going to reach a point where your body actually can't function without it, and you'll have a seizure if you try to quit too abruptly. So that's another example of like how just do it. Like, I just want to quit. I'm just gonna do it. And you've been a drinker for like 10 years now, and then you just put the bottle down one day, and then you have a seizure or a stroke or something. That's another example of how just do it can, end up blowing up in your face. But I feel like me as a person, I've been concentrating too much on how things can blow up to the point where I'm not actively participating in life. I'm not enjoying life to its fullest because I'm too worried about the breaks to even bother to drive to the beach to go and skateboard. I'm too worried about gas prices going higher to even think about going for a drive, to think about even where would the destination be. I can't even think about using the car. And I need to start being like, just do it, dude. Just go for it. Just stop thinking about how things can go wrong. Just apply to that job. Just go for that role. Just apply to that position without thinking, how is this going to go wrong for me? Without thinking of the worst case scenario. That's how everybody kind of trained me, is I would do something and then it would scare them. So, and it would be something like, here's a good example. One time I climbed a fence, and it was a really tall fence, but I was really good at climbing, and I was really good at climbing fences. Like, fences fucking, for a little kid, they got good grips, and I was used to climbing shit. But this one dad who, like, didn't know me at all, didn't know, like, what I normally do and how much of a little monkey I am, saw me and got scared and started yelling at me and started like being irate about a little kid climbing up a fence. And he was like, "Get down! You smash your head and die. Fall off of there and smash your head and die." And that wasn't even a possibility in my head because I was so sure of myself and my ability to climb that fence that falling off was a possibility, like it was possible, but I was so sure in my ability that it wasn't even in the realm of being possible for me, if that makes sense. It was possible, but I was aware of the fact that I could fall, and I was taking measures to actively prevent it. And he's not in my head. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know I'm fucking climbing up, rock hills that have way less stable rocks in them that slip out from underneath your hand. I'm on a stable fence. This is like fucking a playground to me. This is like child's play. Literally, I was a child. But I had to get down from the fence. I was in big trouble, and I had to think about what would happen if I smacked my head. And I had to think about all the kids that fell off of fences and smacked their heads, even though I wasn't one of those kids. And now that was a thing that I had to think about each time and every time I climbed a fence. Was, oh, now I'm going to smash my head because that guy said I'm going to smash my head. And then I stopped climbing fences. Oh, okay, cool, great. He stopped climbing fences, but also at the same time, I got less active as a whole. Everything became, well, you could be running in the parking lot, or you could be running um, in my elementary school. It looked like a parking lot, but it wasn't a parking lot. You could be running in the play lot, I guess, is what you would call it, the tarmac for little kid fighter jets. Be running along concrete, fall and smash your head. So now I don't want to run along concrete anymore because everything is, oh no, it could be that worst case scenario now. Um, and that wasn't always my way of thinking, but more and more fence scenarios came up where people were like, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't be that way. And it just keeps fucking building and building and building to the point now where I'm trying to do something else right now, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Oh, it's so difficult. Everybody else's fucking impossibilities were put onto me. And I was always the person saying it's possible, but they finally put so many impossibilities on me that I'm like, fuck, dude. What is possible? Like, they just keep coming up with new things every single second of what's impossible for you to do. And that goes into like, you just shouldn't listen to people. But when you're growing up, you're a fucking dickhead if you're just a little dickhead little kid that doesn't listen to anybody, trying to give him advice to be better. Who the fuck are you to give advice? I think that I have accepted so much unwarranted advice that I almost became somebody that was like willing to just chew people out and give them unwarranted advice. Like, I guess that's a Karen, maybe. I almost became that person, but then I sat on the feeling for a couple of days and I was like, well, why am I going to yell at this person for doing something wrong? Just let him go do something wrong over there. I don't need to fucking deal with him anymore. He just proved that he has no capacity to actually fucking manage the situation. So why would I want to even deal with that? Why would I want to waste the mental effort, the time, the energy on giving somebody advice who's probably not even going to listen to me, or who's going to be like, oh, this fucking asshole in their head while I'm giving them advice just to try and help them out? People don't oftentimes accept advice as advice. They accept it as like a criticism, and how well they handle criticism is then dictated on how well they'll handle the advice that they have received as criticism. I need to take a deep breath. I'm getting a little overwhelmed. I'm getting a little fucking, yeah. But I think I need to actually get, yeah, I think I need to put my foot down and just be at a certain point like, dude, that's bad advice. That is shit advice. That is fucking terrible advice. Fuck off. And telling these people that are giving bad advice to just fuck off. You're giving bad advice. You clearly have a very opinionated view of the world, and I'm not looking at the world through your fucking eyes, so I don't see that shit the same fucking way. Like that guy fucking yelling at me for climbing the fence. Dude, you see everybody falling off of fences and smacking their heads and dying. I see great fucking view up there. I can be close to the birds and nobody else can bother me on the fucking ground. I get a good bird's eye view up here and I'm all alone. I'm safe. I see it as safety. You see it as dangerous. I saw it as safety. And then, because I wasn't scared of it in the same capacity as he was, he then had to scare me. He had to be a bully and bully me out of thinking that that was safety and show me how scary it was, even if he's going to be the scary one. And I believe that is a flawed way of thinking. And I think that anybody who really thinks that they need to be like the fucking chief of the tribe, they need to be the leader, they need to be the fucking guy that tells everybody else how to act, that's just a guy who doesn't know how to just do it for himself. That's a guy who is actually probably struggling controlling himself, so then he goes and tries and controls others. And that's somebody that you want them to stop just doing it. You want them to you don't just do that. But that's when you're thinking of yourself, every single time that you have like seen something like that you say just don't do that, you then try not to just do it yourself. But then for some reason, for me, the act of like seeing something that I don't want to act like, I end up absorbing it. And then the situation will happen around me that that just so pressures me in a way to act that way. Sometimes it does, and I go, oh, that's why that person was acting that way. But I think I said it once before. So I'm done with that. I've accepted enough perspectives at this point where I think I can just start saying, oh, you know what? That guy's just a bad influence. I'm not going to listen to anything that he says to just do it, because anything that he says to just do it is coming from a bad place. Especially where me, myself, I'm not sure of what I want to just do. Like I said a second ago, now I'm thinking about, I've been told so many times how you could hit your head on the concrete. That's all I think about. So I don't do anything. And that needs to change. So I need to start just doing it more, but with safety in mind. But that can be an inherently difficult thing when we live in a world made of concrete and stone. Every time you go outside, you're risking scraping your knee. I think that is more of the essence of just do it. Okay, I'm scared of scraping my knee. Okay, just go and do it. I'm scared of being embarrassed. I'm going to be more embarrassed if I just sit here looking like a weirdo. Just go do it. Or, your fear of embarrassment actually could be holding you back from learning something. Say, like, you want to go talk to a pretty lady, and then you go and you talk to her, but then you had an embarrassing moment where you forgot to introduce yourself because you were so anxious about talking to her. So there you go. Now you have a direction for the next time that you go talk to a pretty lady. You know to lead with an introduction. You say, hi, my name's Adam. This, that, or the other thing. Or you could, if you have a funny situational icebreaker, lead with the icebreaker, but then always make sure the introduction is in the first one or two sentences. And then if that works and it works on the next person and it's a good interaction, look at that. You're not embarrassed anymore. You're experienced, and you just had a nice interaction with somebody. Maybe you get a number. Sometimes I task myself with going out and getting a number just to make myself remember that I still got it. It's so fucking silly. That is the essence of just do it, though. Sometimes that's something that I just got to do for myself, is I just got to realize that, yes, I'm attractive, and yes, I could go and I could get a pretty girl's number. But that is not what I'm focusing on right now. What I'm focusing on right now is building myself back up into a better person, into a stronger character, so that when I do finally find, somebody that I think that I could have a relationship with, it can be a successful relationship. But if I'm focusing on every floozy that walks by, I'm not really focusing on myself, and I'm not really doing the work for myself. I need to, recognize if there's a floozy walking by, but I don't need to lose myself in it. I need to say, okay, that's a floozy. I could have her if I want her, but also at the same time, I don't want her because I'm doing something else right now. I'm growing. I'm changing. I'm evolving. I'm building self-worth and self-respect. It's really weird trying to build up self-worth and self-respect after a long time of not even like being aware if you have it or not, or like maybe thinking you have it and then having it go away and then having to build it back up again. And that really is the crux of like most embarrassment, is that you're just coming from a place where you feel like you have a lower self-worth. So you actually need to do some things to try and build up that self-worth. So as you do those things to build up the self-worth, you will notice that the feeling of embarrassment is kind of replaced by a feeling of ferocity, or like fervor, charisma, maybe. Maybe like people who really own their like quirky, like embarrassed shit almost come off charismatic because they're just so themselves. That's a good, like, just do it when you're just thinking about just being yourself. Just do it. Don't think too much into it. As soon as you start thinking too much into it, you're suddenly not being yourself anymore. And it's really weird and counterintuitive. You don't think by clearing your mind that you'll be able to think clearly because you're focusing on thinking nothing. But when you clear your mind and like you're moving through life with a really clear mind state, you'll be talking to somebody and then something will just pop up in your head and you might not even get the processing of it popping up in your head and then saying it. It might just come out naturally. And then sometimes I've surprised myself sometimes with stuff that I've come up with out of just a blank mind. I've been like, how did I, what? But that's the power of the subconscious. The subconscious is just as much powerful as the conscious and then some, because your subconscious doesn't really need to think or talk in order to connect the dots. It can connect the dots and then issue it as a response before you even like get the chance to catch up consciously inside your brain. And I really think that a lot of my more successful moments were paved by trying to have a clear mind. Um, because even like sometimes like I was in a conversation once and I was a cashier and I was trying to flirt with a customer. And then another cashier came up to try and flirt with the customer too. And I got mad, but then I like subconsciously registered that it was making me angry and then I turned up the whatever it is that I turn up. And I turned it up just a little bit and I ended up like dropping a really funny joke just off the cuff and I made everybody laugh. And I kind of like impressed the dude that walked over to the point where he was like, this dude's got game, I can't compete. And he walked away. And I don't even remember the joke. I don't even know how I came up with it. But it was just that like quick subconscious processing of like, oh, this is an irritating scenario. I need to turn it up to show that I'm way past this kind of level of tomfoolery that we have going on right now. And that like subconscious thought led way to another thought that was the exact thought that I needed for the scenario. But none of that shit happened consciously. I was consciously just trying to get in the next word and be the most entertaining in the conversation. And I think that's my problem here sometimes is I get too into my head about being entertaining rather than just being entertaining. And that ends up kind of throwing me for a loop because I'll be doing fucking weird shit to entertain myself, but that's not necessarily entertaining shit, but I'm just trying to make my own self happy, like build up my own self-worth that, okay, I can make myself laugh. Come on now. Let's start and, get into the actual nitty-gritty funny shit. And that was kind of one of the things that stopped me right now. I was trying to record a joke, and I just couldn't fucking do it. And I was like, just do it, just do it, just do it. And I was like, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. And I was like, I'm battling with myself between just do it and I can't do it and just do it and I can't do it. And I really want to fucking do this joke. But part of me is like, I can't do it. And I'm noticing that each time I say I can't do it, it feels like another person's voice, like another memory of another person telling me that you couldn't do it. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Ugh. How many more of these bricks do I gotta fucking break down before I can actually just do what I'm thinking about doing? Why isn't that stream from my subconscious to my conscious to my vocal voice clear anymore. I have to start working on clearing the stream. I think that's what having a clear mind is you're just keeping the mind empty so that when a ship does float down the stream, it doesn't hit a rock that's jetting up from the bottom. That, that rock might be someone who yelled at you for climbing the fence when you were fucking 7. And the ship is this thought that I'm trying to have right now. And it hits that rock, and suddenly the ship has fucking got a giant gaping hole in it. It's starting to take on water. And it was because I didn't do my job of clearing the stream. And that's something I just have to do it. I don't know. I'm like scared to meditate lately. I'm like, it's not perfect. It's not right. I can't do it. And it's just like so many negative thoughts have built up that I can't do it, that I'm not doing it. But that's the process of meditating, is the more you do it, the more you can do it. That's the process of practice. The more you do something, the more you can do it. And the more I tell myself I can't, the more I'm struggling with myself and trying to convince myself that I can. And that's where self-worth comes in. It's like, I'm worthy of this. I can do this. That's where self-respect comes in too. It's like, dude, I said that I could do this. Why am I disrespecting myself by not showing up for myself? And that's where just do it is good. When you have scenarios where you need to show up for yourself, just do it. Just show up for yourself. Like this one time I had a date on this Friday. Not this Friday, but this particular Friday in this memory. I had a date. And I was really excited for this date because she was German or some shit. She was foreign. I was fucking hyped. But then somebody asked me to help them move. And I don't even remember saying, yeah, I'll help you move. But I guess I fucking did. And then the day came and they're like, you're going to still help me move, right? And I was like, that was today. And that was the Friday that I was supposed to have the date. And I got so stressed about choosing the right thing to do. I was like, should I help my roommate's girlfriend move? Or should I just go on a fucking date? Like, I haven't been on a date in like 6 months. I should just go on a date and have fun and be relaxed and chill out and, maybe kiss a pretty foreign girl. I couldn't make the decision for myself because it was like, well, one is more moralistic and one is more hedonistic, and I can't make a decision. So I just ended up not doing anything. I fucking stayed in my room that day. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing anything today. I accidentally overbooked. I double booked. I'm not doing anything. I told them both. I was like, I double booked. I was supposed to have a date tonight. I can't do anything. The other person, I was like, I double booked. I was supposed to help somebody move. I can't do anything. And I fucking did nothing. And that taught me a very valuable lesson, that when both the options are difficult, just choose yourself. And I might have missed out on a fun date and missed out on moving. I don't think so. But I chose myself. And in that moment, I was so frustrated with everything going on that just having a day to sit inside and just be like, fuck the world, I don't want to deal with it right now, felt like the best option. But looking back on it, it was probably just the easiest option. And to actually choose myself would have meant going on the date and having a fun night and actually enjoying myself. But instead, I couldn't think through the nonsense of just do it, just say yes, just do it, just go, go, go. I couldn't think through everybody else's bricks in the wall and the nonsense that I just chose not to fucking do anything. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I need a day to think. And looking back on it now, I'm 50-50 on it because yes, I had a day to think and it was a formative experience, but also I missed out and I could have chosen differently and I could have chosen better for myself. But now I would have never really known that I could have had that choice unless I made the choice to just think about it. This is too much. I need to think. So then I thought about it and I thought about it and I said, well, that sucked. You know what? Both options kind of sucked. I might have not had fun on the date, might have sucked. We might have not got along. Might have been a huge waste of time. I had to go all the way over to like Western Mass, and I lived in Dorchester. So I was like, could have been a long day of travel. But that is, once again, all of those other kinds of things that you put on so you can kind of make yourself feel better about it, or you can make yourself, think a certain way towards whichever option that you choose. And right now, I'm thinking, yeah, I could have chosen better, but I think, yeah, I just said it a second ago. I didn't even know that it was a possibility to choose better. But now that I have gone through that, I know that next time somebody asks me to help move on the same day that I have a date, I'm going to just say no. I'm just going to go on the date. And even if I said yes to the moving and the date came afterwards, hey, I got a date. Dates don't come around every fucking, all the time. Dates are, once in a blue moon thing. I'm going to go on the date. Moving isn't an all the time thing, but also the date takes precedent over the moving. But like I said a second ago, I always have to test shit and know shit firsthand. And now that I've been in this scenario, I know firsthand how to handle the scenario next time. But life sometimes acts that way, where you have one scenario and then you have an almost identical scenario again and you know how to act. But not always. Life is random. There's a lot of different shit going on. And you'll run into one scenario and you'll be like, well, that sucked, but now I know how to handle it next time. But then you run into a similar scenario and you're like, well, I'll handle this how I handled that other one. But then you find out that that wasn't the right response in that scenario. So now you have a problem that was similar to the other problem that you had a working solution for, but that solution doesn't work anymore. But the problems are very similar, and you could see how the confusion would start to arise. Now I got to start thinking about another option to solve this similar problem. I wonder if this similar option that will solve this similar problem would have actually solved the previous problem. I wonder if that would have been a better option for the previous situation. And you start questioning, you start wondering, because each situation is different, but as you go through more and more situations, you start to realize that, okay, so there's kind of a gist to these situations that's going on here. There's kind of an ebb and a flow to everything that's happening. And me, I'm trying to just go along with the ebb and the flow. But also, I'm somebody that likes to splash around and make waves. So it's kind of difficult finding a balance between all of my splashing and thrashing and floating down the river and going with the flow. Because sometimes you really just can't fucking go with the flow of the situation. There is some shit that is a flow stopper, and it's like a diversion, and you have to make a decision of which way down the fork you want to go. And you can't always stop the boat and get out. That's what I did when I had double booked the date and the moving. I stopped the boat and I got out and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, let's turn the boat around until we hit a different intersection, and then I'll go down one of those two. Some situations require you to make waves and take direction. But I feel like I'm kind of getting towards the end. I'm a little bit talked out, so this is kind of also going to get into the just do it. Just sometimes you got to just listen to your body and listen to what your body's doing. You're talking to a weirdo on the street, and your body's telling you just walk away, just do it. Just fucking walk away from the weirdo in the street fucking telling you weird shit. You don't need to entertain every weirdo in the street. There's a lot of weirdos in the street. You'll be in the street all fucking day if you try to entertain every single weirdo that fucking walks by you. And a lot of people just like to fucking waste your time. That's it. Sometimes you'll just be in the street and people just like to fucking waste your time because of whatever variable that you have going on in your life. And you have to decide for yourself whether you want your time wasted or not. Is it actually a waste of time? Does this person have valuable information? Sometimes, yes. But other times, no. Like that fucking homeless dude that said he was going to kill me on Halloween as I was walking through the Halloween parade. I did not need to fucking stop and talk to that guy. Fuck that guy. Never even fucking should have acknowledged his existence. But I felt like this like feeling of pity. Like, oh, hi, how you doing? And I nodded my head to him, which apparently was his trigger to fucking, I'm going to start talking to this guy, start talking a bunch of nonsense and bullshit. Should have never fucking stopped that guy. Should have never fucking felt pity for certain people, because sometimes you feel pity for somebody and it's the wrong person to be feeling pity for. That doesn't mean no, don't ever feel bad for somebody. But it also means being smarter with how you're spending your time and your energy. Like going back to what I said a second ago. Do you really want to spend all of your time and energy going around yelling at everybody who's fucking putting trash in the recycling bin? That's like a very silly thing to yell at somebody for, but a very serious thing to yell at somebody for. You can't put trash in the recycling bin. That's not how you fucking do shit. But are you going to walk up and down the street on trash day, policing the trash bins, making sure that nobody fucking put trash in the recycling bin, losing your mind over it, becoming the fucking trash police, starting to irately yell at every single person who doesn't know how to recycle properly? No, that's fucking crazy. Please don't do that. Don't just do that. That is fucking nonsense. That is a waste of time and energy. But at the same time, if like that's all that person fucking has is yelling about the trash, do you really want to be the person to stop and correct them for yelling about the trash? See where it kind of is a self-containing problem. Is that a good way to phrase it in a way? If somebody's like doing something wrong, you don't need to stop your day to stop them from doing something wrong. Just let them do something wrong and it'll handle itself if what they're doing is truly wrong. Because like yelling at people for not properly recycling isn't truly wrong on a legal matter, or it could be wrong on a moralistic or personal matter. But do you really want to fucking let your morals make you stop in the middle of the street and yell at the crazy trash guy who's yelling at everybody else? No, dude, don't waste your time and energy like that guy is wasting his time and energy. Just fucking move on with your life. Just do it. But you can see how if you say just do it to a guy walking down the street, walking by the fucking trash policeman, crazy trash guy yelling about recycling, and you say, just do it to him, that could mean many fucking things. Just do it could mean walk away. Just do it could mean fucking yell at him. Just do it could mean join him and yell at everybody. So, basically, what the fuck I am getting at with all of this bullshit is saying just do it is a great motivator. Great. Awesome. But also, at the same time, just do it is very dangerous. You can motivate somebody to jump off a cliff, and whether they have a bungee cord on or not just depends on which just do it you're trying to get them to do. And for me, right now, my personal just do it is just get out of your own way. Just open up your fucking mind, open up your throat chakra, just talk, just do it, just record your silly podcast just live. Just promote your shit whenever you fucking want. Put up stickers, hand out stickers. That's a perfect icebreaker too. If I want to meet new people, there we go. Here you go, here's a sticker. Check it out. It's very nice. Just do it. Just be an active participant in your own life. In my own life. See, I'm not even being enough of an active participant in my own life that I didn't even register to say my own life. I said yours. Maybe I'm talking to me when I'll be listening to this over and editing it. But also at the same time, that is the crux of it, dude. I need to start focusing on me. I need to start focusing on what makes Adam happy. Who is Adam? What makes Adam tick? I want to be so secure in knowing myself that no matter what shitty online imposters pop up, or shitty scenarios I may be in, or no matter what social media posts I see, who I am isn't questioned or shaken. I don't want to be so easily influenced anymore. I guess I want to be opinionated now. I want to be firm in my views. I'm tired of this flippy floppy, always seeing the centrist point that everyone has kind of been forcing on me. Like, I get how everybody has different perspectives. Everyone has always been telling me to think about things from others' perspectives, but constantly trying to see everyone else's perspective is preventing me from truly getting in tune with my own perspective. So I think that's what I need to do now. I need to get in tune with myself again. I need to start listening to my inner voice that has always been the same. I need to stop listening to all of these other memories of voices of other people's opinions, because those aren't who I am. Those are other people's opinions that they felt like giving me. And you know what? I wish that you people would just take your opinions back. I don't want them anymore. You didn't have to give them to me. That is a very bad gift. Terrible gift. Worst gift of all, an opinion. Please take it back. Can I get a gift receipt with this? Can I return it for a cash exchange? I need to find my center. My center. Not the center. My center. And I need to just do it for myself. I just need to just do myself, just do me for me. And right now, doing me looks like unlearning a bunch of stuff that I picked up over the years that just doesn't agree with who I am. Doing me is unlearning some patterns I've built up that actually shouldn't have been built up in the first place. And that's kind of difficult. Just yesterday, I was like, I want to work on the neuroplasticity of my brain. I want to learn how to skateboard with my left foot forward. So I switched the footing on my skateboard. And it was so difficult. I'm like okay at skateboarding with my right foot forward, but with my left foot forward, it was like I've never skated a day in my life. And it was so difficult because it was like I know how to skate. I had that feeling of I know how to do this, but I just can't do it like this. But knowing how to do it fueled me in my determination to just keep going and just try and get to the end skating with my left foot forward. And I was able to adapt, and I could feel like the changing of my brain figuring it out of, oh, okay, we're standing differently now. Figuring out the variables of like where to place my foot and how to transition from a kick to like kicking and powering the board to both feet on the board. I don't know what the fuck you call it, riding, from kicking to riding. You don't ride, you glide. I don't know. But that served as a good example for me to know that, oh wow, relearning and retraining your brain is a really difficult thing. And I should give myself some grace and actually look at how far I've come so far and not just focus on the work that I have left to do. And like maybe also because I haven't been focusing on how much I've done, the few things that I have left to do seem so much bigger than they are because I'm not looking at all the other accomplishments I've achieved. I'm only looking at the one or two things that just continually don't go right because like it's just not time for these things to go right, and I have to have more patience, and I gotta like just figure out, like I said, who I am. And once I really start being me, that's when things are going to start clicking. That's when things are going to start working, because it has worked like that before. I've had scenarios and situations where I was down on my luck and shit just wasn't working out until I reached this point of like, dude, I'm Adam J. fucking Capello. I got this shit. And I re-sparked my self-worth and my self-respect. And I was like, I remembered, oh, fuck yeah, I fucking know who I am. And that's when shit started working out for me. But then, that's the funny thing though, as soon as I remembered who I was, and as soon as shit started working out for me, I started facing a lot of scenarios that I was like, I don't know how I would handle this. I started handling a whole fresh new batch of challenges that I didn't know how I would handle. But now that I'm through them, I'm like, I know how I would handle that shit. But how I would handle that shit was a regression. It was because of all the stuff going on around me. I was like, all the hope I had built up since being like 13 years old fucking was dashed away. And I was like, people are just fucking the same, man. People are always going to be the same. I kind of reverted back, and I was like, I just started trusting people less, and I was more wary of everybody because I kind of reverted into that like 13-year-old nihilistic mindset of just like the world is shit, it's all gonna be shit. But you know what? That also means like, dude, fuck, that person just changed my perspective. Back to like a shitty 13-year-old. That even like before I was 13, I was like, I thought a certain way. And then I turned 13, puberty hits, and I started thinking a certain way. And then around like 17, I was like, oh man, I'm kind of a dick. So then I started trying to think another way. But from like 13 to 17, shit really worked out when I was a fucking asshole sometimes. Shit just like fucking people, I guess maybe people didn't want to deal with me because I was an asshole, so shit went real smooth sailing. They're like, just give him what he wants. He's gonna be a dick. Just give him what he wants. Or maybe maybe I was just being more authentic to myself. Is who I am really a fucking just a jerk? Is a fucking asshole? But I was just, I didn't have any filter. I just didn't give a fuck. But also at the same time, I had reached a point where I stopped caring. I cared so much that it started to take a toll on me, and I just couldn't fucking care anymore. And I went from like a sweet little like fucking 10-year-old in 5th grade to just like over 6th grade year, just the evolution of like, oh, I need to fucking fight to survive. Middle school is just fucking terrible, dude. Just like everybody in middle school is a psychopath. It's just a bunch of fucking gremlins trying to figure out what empathy is. And it's just all fucking 13-year-olds are psychopaths. And getting all those kids in one fucking area, and that just like all of that energy in that environment, you feel like that shit is Lord of the Flies. Um, and it is not fucking cool. You're like, damn, I can see how Lord of the Flies had some inspiration here. And you fucking develop these skills in order to survive. Like, you don't want to get bullied in the locker room, you better fucking be a bully yourself. You better, like, be a jerk. You better, you don't want to get made fun of for having bitch tit. You better fucking make fun of the other kids for having fucking big tummies or hairy backs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They created a fucking monster, but the monster that they created loved the attention and loved not being picked on himself anymore. And I liked the ease that it created because I didn't have to fucking deal with dickheads. I could just fucking chew them out. And there was that. And that created this pathway of me thinking that using like fury will just make anything happen. Because it has made anything happen before. This one time, this kid said, my friends, this was like the last time that I sat with these fucking kids at lunch. I realized something after this day. This kid was fucking with this older senior kid, this kid that I sat with, and he was fucking with him because his older brother knew him. And since the older kid, the senior, knew this other kid's older brother, he didn't fuck with him. But I was sitting at this kid's table, and so he picked me because he knew he could fuck with me because I didn't have any older siblings in the school. And he was like, cut that shit the fuck out. I'm going to beat you the fuck up. And he just was like, he was threatening me. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like pissed because I knew that this other kid wasn't going to get any fucking shit, even though he was the shit starter because he had his fucking older brother. So now I'm getting all the fucking flack because this kid's a pussy and doesn't want to face the older brother. What the fuck? You should actually fucking be beefing with the kid that you have fucking beef with who started the fucking bullshit and who's being the annoying asshole to everybody. Fucking throwing shit around. Anyways, I got really fucking mad about this. I got like furious about this. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do about this. I gotta fucking beat the shit out of this kid now. Great, now I gotta fucking beat this kid up. And I was just thinking and thinking and thinking. And I got into overthinking. And I thought about all the things that I have to do. And I'm gonna have to do this or that. And the next day, the kid came to school with a fucking broken leg. So obviously, me inside of my head, I was like, dude, me and God just fucking reached a level. I was so fucking angry that God decided to step in and do something before I did something. And that's where it started. That's not where it started, but that was one of the bigger ones where it kind of, okay, when I'm really fucking mad, the universe will fucking commune with me. And that's how I get shit done. But that, you know, it works, but it's not right, if that makes sense. But it works. I don't know if, like, maybe what I am registering as fury is maybe determination. That's why I need to get more in tune with myself, because I've never had so much outward silence that I can actually nitpick my emotions and figure out the real finer details between them. But maybe what I have been thinking that I've been using as fury is actually like determination or will seems like a good word. But I'm thinking of like not intensity, not deed. I don't know why I'm thinking the word deed. Intentions. Maybe when you're setting your intentions, I have somehow crisscrossed my wires between intent and anger. But I was in a crowd the other day, and I couldn't get through the crowd. The crowd wouldn't split for me, and that was weird. And I haven't been in crowds for a really long time. And I kind of like forgot how to act in a crowd, and I just wanted to get the fuck out of the crowd. But then I saw this girl just basically running through the crowd, like not running, but like the crowd was splitting for her, and I immediately like tacked on to her, and I was like, "You're my leader. Lead me out of here, please." But then I was like, "How the fuck are you doing this actually, though? Because what the fuck? Everybody's like just getting the fuck out of your way." Um, and then I don't know, maybe she didn't like me being so close or something, because then she darted left and I lost her and I fucking got stuck in the crowd. But then I kind of like looked at her body language and sort of analyzed the situation a little bit, and I was like, oh, I'm just not like holding my intentions correctly or my determination in the right way. And I like flexed up my core muscles and I straightened up my back, and I kind of kept my eyes forward and I focused on a point in the distance, and I was like, I'm heading there. And then everybody started getting out of my way. And I was like, oh, being intent and determined is something that can be picked up on in body language. And people will subconsciously respond so they can just get out of your way and not have to deal with you. Oh, so they don't have to waste time or energy dealing with someone else who is focusing their time and energy on a certain goal. And that kind of goes back to, like, would you yell at the crazy garbage policeman? Because the garbage policeman is focusing his determination on making sure that the recycling and the trash is properly separated. And if that is not within the scope of where you want to spend your energy, then you shouldn't. And then you can focus your intent and determination on where you're heading, and then you can just walk right on by that guy. Just do it could be an aspiration for your intentions. And we can't control people's intentions, but we can reprimand them after the fact. And the easiest way to sort out the troublemakers from the makers, just the makers, and the doers, is to just tell them to just do it. And if they get themselves in trouble in the process of hearing the words just do it, and it inspires you to do trouble, well, congratulations, you just revealed your intentions. You're a troublemaker. You're listed, you're labeled as a troublemaker. Maybe even if the trouble that you made is bad enough, boom, jail time, taken out of the fucking population of people that they're telling to just do it. Now you're being told, just don't do it. I guess to a degree, yeah, maybe that saved me. Maybe some of the people telling me just don't do it, some of those bricks, that's where I was like, knee-high wall. That's why I was accepting of some of those bricks. I was like, that makes a lot of sense to not get myself in trouble. But now that I'm an adult, I'm like, what is fucking trouble? What are you gonna do? Yell at me? Fucking fuck you. Fucking get me in trouble. Trouble to a little kid was a lot, but now as an adult, it's like, what the fuck is trouble? Who the fuck are you? And I'm not really doing shit that is illegal. So when you're fucking yelling at me for, I don't know, skateboarding with headphones on, you're gonna get in trouble. Fuck you. You're in trouble now, fucker. Fucking douchebag. That's my problem too, though. I have too much of a tendency to shift my just do it into being a fucking dick like that. That's what I said earlier. Am I just a fucking asshole? Like, am I just a douchebag because That was just a way of fucking letting my intentions be known. Clear cut, straight off the bat. No foo-foo, no fucking bullshit. I'm here to fucking have fun sitting in the classroom. At least I'm making jokes about the topic material, you know? Some of them were off the cuff, but most of them were on the topic material. I'm on fucking topic. It was the off the cuff ones that I mostly got in trouble for. Never really got in trouble. The on topic jokes were my saving grace, because they'd be like, well, at least he has good jokes. Sometimes he just doesn't know where the line is, and they kept trying to show me where the line is, but that arbitrary, just like, dude, in one class you just told me I have free speech, and now in this class you're telling me I can't say the word cunt? What the fuck? You know, they're countering each other. You know, fucking one class you're telling me I could say whatever the fuck I want, it's protected by law, and in the next class I can't. I'm not allowed to even. In health class, you can't even say fucking cock and balls. You have to say fucking testicles and fucking penis. So if you go into health class and you have a question about cock and ball torture, you get in trouble. What the fuck? I'm hearing all this shit about cock and ball torture. All I wanted to know what the fuck it was, and now I'm sitting in the principal's office? What the fuck? And given too many of those experiences to kids who just fucking, it's a kid being a kid. They don't deserve it. Leads to people in my situation where I'm unsure of myself in every step I take because I'm waiting for the fucking National Jewish League Association to fucking come knocking on my doorstep, like how fucking my middle school principal said they would. Fucking one kid chucked a penny at my head, hit me right in the fucking head, and I said, "Oh, you Jew?" Some Jewish teacher heard me. She apparently chased me down. Didn't even fucking hear her. Didn't even register. She's like, excuse me, and didn't even hear it. Kids were like, this kid's such a badass. I just didn't hear it. Probably because my ears were ringing from having a fucking penny thrown at me. Call the kid a Jew. Get called down to the office for having a penny thrown at my head and calling a kid a Jew. I was confused when I got there because this was such an off-the-cuff fucking thing. Kids are calling kids Jews all the time. It's fucking here, there, everywhere. My hair got really curly in middle school, so kids would call me Jew-fro. I've heard kids say worse shit in the hallways. I got called worse shit. I'm getting called down to the office, and they're like, did you call a kid a Jew? And I'm like, what? Is that why I'm down here right now? Is that what, I think so, maybe. And then he's like, and then you ran away from her. And I was like, I didn't run away from anybody. I went to my next class. I didn't hear her fucking yell. They tried to make it a huge problem. He was like, I call fucking Synagogue Association of America and have a rabbi down here right now and have the NC National. No, that's not it. He's just listed off a bunch of fucking organizations that I could get in trouble for, and he's like, you could we call the police, and you could have a hate crime on your hands. And it's like, dude, fuck you, one. Two, if you really want to do that, we have an assault and battery fucking case. Somebody chucked a penny at my fucking head. You really want to fucking go there? We have a slurry of violations that happened in this school. Fucking, I do not like this guy to this day. And it's because you just have continual fucking experiences of why are you pulling this 13-year-old into your fucking office every other day? This dude just like fucking had a thing for me or something. Because when I got to high school, I was called into the fucking principal's office maybe once or twice a year. Compared to middle school, dude had me in there like fucking all the time. And it's not because my fucking behavior changed or anything. If anything, my behavior got a little bit more wild in high school. It's just this dude was just such a fucking brick builder. And he just needed to make sure that all of these bricks were in place. so that what? It didn't affect me until later in my life. I was still very, if anything, it made me worse in high school because I was like, these bricks don't matter. And I was fucking trying to kick down some of the bricks that didn't matter then, not realizing that they were just being moved to another wall, another area of the wall. I was trying to be like, dude, fuck you. You guys are fucking this shit up. That was my kind of, I guess I lived by the just do it philosophy a lot in, middle school and high school of just being like, just fucking do it, dude. I didn't like thinking too much about stuff. But now I think about everything before I say it. Like before in high school, there were like times that I was like, I thought about a joke and then I said it like a minute or two later. But if you thought about a joke that was on topic for too long, they would move on and the joke wouldn't be funny. So you have to say shit immediately when you think about it. So you just have to wait for that quick lull and then just shoot it out. And I got really good at that to the point where I didn't even really think about what I was saying before I said it. And that was how I got some of my more off the cuff kind of humor that got me in trouble. Um, One of the things was my high school quote was firmly grasp it from Patrick Starr. And I got in trouble for that. I had another one. Shit. It was a funny ass jizz joke, but I don't remember because it got redacted. All of my quotes were redacted from the fucking school yearbook because of that. It was take life as it comes in your face and runs down your chin. And it made it by one teacher, but then it went to the vice principal for approval. And he was like, dude, both of these fucking quotes, both of them? You didn't even like try to put an acceptable one? I was like, I tried other ones. He's just denied them. I sent in like 4, and those were the 2 that he accepted, and he thought they were good, and they thought that they were all right. And he sent them on. The funniest part is that he sent them on, and so he got in trouble too, because he was supposed to vet shit like that and not send it on. So then he went home and told his wife, and then his wife yelled at him, and then he came back to school and yelled at me for his wife. Very good times at Stoneham High. Very good times indeed. But, they tore down that building. And I think it is time for me to tear down some of these walls that I've built up. I have to become more myself, and to find out who I am, I just have to just keep doing shit and just keep talking and keep working and keep acting and skateboarding and all of the things that I find interesting. I have to keep trying it and keep doing it, no matter what the voices that, everybody's, no matter the voices. That's why I stopped. No matter what the voices are saying. But there you go. No matter what the voices are saying, man. No matter what the fucking negative talk in your head is. No matter what the fucking memories of what other people have said. No matter what the actual, like, maybe somebody's on the fucking phone saying some fucking negative ass shit. No matter what they're saying. Shit doesn't matter, dude. Hang up the phone. Fucking turn on some music if you can't drown out the thoughts. If, like, you're doing something that you can turn on music while you're doing it. And for me right now, it's just talking it out. Fuck, I can't fucking talk. Fuck yeah, I can talk. Watch me talk for a fucking hour, and I can figure this fucking shit out. And the shit that I gotta figure out is who the fuck I am. And apparently that's somebody who likes to say fuck a lot, which is also why I was in trouble a lot in school. But, that's another one of those patterns that I have to unlearn, that I had picked up from the people around me in my life and that I thought was cool and funny. But now I'm realizing, dude, I need better words. Fuck, I don't have enough words in my vocabulary to fully and adequately express who the fuck I am. Because fuck is also one of those words that it fucking means anything. You can fucking put it anywhere. You can have a fucking sentence that's just fuckity fucking fuck fuck. Technically, it's grammatically fucking correct. But it doesn't actually fucking mean anything. It's not a real information conveying sentence. The words don't provide any context to what I'm feeling. It's just fuckity fucking fuck fuck. It's not real words. They don't give any shape to my soul. And I think I need to start learning new words so I can figure out what exactly is the shape of my soul and how can I describe it. And when I find the words that do describe it, I'll know what those words are because I'll feel it. Maybe I don't know the shape of my soul consciously. Maybe it's one of those subconscious things that I know but I'm not really aware of. But maybe also I can feel its edges, where it folds and where it bulges and where it crinkles and where it's soft and where it's smooth. I can feel the texture and the shape of my soul, but I am unsure of what it looks like. Maybe that's what it's like to be blind to a degree. You know what a blue shirt feels like when you're wearing it and you know that it's blue because other people have told you it's blue. You can't actually see the shirt for yourself. And maybe when you don't spend enough time with yourself, when you don't form enough of your own opinions, you end up being blind to your own soul. You can't see its shape so clearly because there's all these stickers on top of it and all of these paint splotches splattered all over it. So for me, I gotta do the work of cleaning it up and figuring it out what it actually does look like. Maybe just, sitting with it for a while and feeling it and really memorizing every single nook and cranny that there is in there. So that then when I go into the world, I can find those crevices that I fit in and those things that fit into me to help change my shape and make it hopefully better. But I need to be comfortable enough in myself to be able to say something like, just do it, and know that I'm not responsible for whatever the fuck it is that you just did, even though I just told you to just do it. I just told you to do it, but it's you that actually chose to do that because I'm not inside of your fucking head. I didn't know I was telling you to do that when I told you to just do it. I need to be more comfortable with knowing other people can fuck up and there's nothing I can do about it. I need to accept that it's just other people's fuck up and I just need to do me. And to just do me means not doing that. Confusing enough for you? Good. I think that's where we're going to leave it. So keep it easy out there and peace.